Hello, this is Don O'Malley with Don's Breakfast Cereal Show. Thanks for tuning in. Today we have another Bob Steele double feature. Today we have Lightnin Crandall and Northwest Trail. We have to jump right into the movies because they take up most of the show's time. So here we go, folks. Sit back and enjoy the two westerns. I'll be back.
Hello, Lightnin.
Hi, Travis. Been looking for you. I wanted to say goodbye.
I hope you're not going to regret selling the ranch, Lightnin.
I reckon you think I'm crazy, eh?
No. I realize there are too many men in Texas that hate the Crandall name. Your dad's gone, but...
His enemies are still here. Some of my own, too.
Well, you being the fastest gunfighter in Texas will always draw fighting men.
That's just it. There'll always be gunmen that try to drop me just for the reputation they'd make. I'm tired of it, Travis. From now on, I'm going to be a tenderfoot.
You, a tenderfoot?
I mean it, Travis. Here in Texas, I've got to keep on being a gunfighter or else stop lead. I'm going where I'm not known.
Well, now, where can that be?
Arizona. Maybe I'll buy a spread if I like it around Ogalla. That's good cattle country.
Leaving now?
Yep. Got my bedroll on the saddle, and this gun gets buried in the saddlebags as soon as I cross the state line.
Well, good luck to you, boy. Oh, wait a minute, Bob. How about a little farewell drink before you leave?
All right.
Lightnin, they call him, huh? Well, he'll be a flash in the pan when I sling my smoke. Peters from the Pecos, that's me. I'm gonna show this measly country what a fast gunman is. Give me another drink, barkeep.
You see? There's another one. Doesn't even know me. Yet he wants my notch on his gun. Come on, let's have that drink.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna kill that lightning hombre. Peters will show you folks how he draws.
What'll you have, Travis?
Scotch.
Sarsaparilla for mine.
Howdy, stranger. You ain't seen this hombre that calls himself Lightnin, have you?
Why, no. Are you looking for him?
Yep.
Have a drink?
Sure. You ain't a friend of this Jasper's, are you? Because if you are, I ain't drinking with you.
I don't reckon you'd call me a friend of his. In fact, if Lightnin should ever get hung, I'd be right there to pull on one end of the rope.
You ain't a-gonna get hung. I'm gonna see to that.
Well, here's hoping you find Lightnin.
Don't worry. I will.
Hey, Lightnin, I got some mail for you.
So you're the hombre they call Lightnin, huh? Well, let's see how fast a gunman you are. Into your hand.
Sorry, Peters, but you asked for it. Stay off the ridges when it storms. They say lightning strikes the high places. That's what I'm getting away from.
You let me know where you settle?
Sure. In the meantime, take care of things for me the same as always, will you?
Sure thing.
And Travis, If anybody should ask you where this fellow Lightnin is, tell them he's dead. Harry? So long, Travis.
So long, Lightnin. Mr. Lightnin, this may seem a strange request, but we are on the verge of a range war that will involve my father. I have heard that you are the fastest gunman on the border and have always acted within the law. Your presence here may prevent this bloodshed. Would you consider coming? Sheila Shannon, Ogalla, Arizona. I'm sorry, Miss Shannon, but orders is orders.
Like something happened, Sheila. You stay.
Here's your new hands, Wes. Boys, meet Wes Shannon. Why, he's one of my...
mind that, Texas. What's happened?
Well, Tommy's in trouble. He had a row over in Ogalla with one of Blaine's riders. Nobody knows exactly. Anyway, Tommy killed him. He hit the breeze, and he...
Why should Tommy run away? It was a fair fight, wasn't it?
Why, sure. Tommy wouldn't fight no other way, Miss Sheila. But Blaine claims that Tommy dry-gulched his man, and he's out to get him. So as he can say, we started a war.
What's Tommy going to do now?
Well, I reckon he'll head south of the river. Try to get here if he can.
Yeah, Blaine will be figuring that way, too. He'll be coming along sooner or later, and I don't want Tommy around when he does.
But, Dad, Tommy can stand trial. There's no jury that would convict him as long as it was a fair fight.
Yes, but he'd never go to trial. He used his head running. Blaine's had things his own way. He'd see to it that Tommy got a rope. I'm sorry, child, but it looks like that range war was bound to come.
I guess so, Dad. But I hate it terribly. Those new men, they're...
Yes, gunmen. I had to do it, dear. Blaine's killers would murder my cowhands.
I know. And he's probably saying the same thing. Oh, Dad, why don't you sell him the ranch up above the Blue if he wants it?
I couldn't live in this country if I had to take orders from Blaine. No brand-blotting range hog like him can tell me what to do, and he'll soon find it out. Did you hear from that Lightnin gunfighter in Texas?
Yeah. Came yesterday.
Too bad. We could have used one more fast gun on our side. Blaine's already got Parson Durkin and Prescott and... It's Blaine and his men. Keep out of sight till you're needed. You go inside. I'll attend to this.
No, Dad, I'm staying.
Howdy, Shannon. How do you do, Miss Sheila? I hate to ride in on you this way, but your son dry-gulched one of my men, and we're looking for him.
I ain't seen him, Blaine. But when I do, I'll tell him there's a mob out to lynch him.
This isn't a mob, Shannon. It's a posse, sworn to defend the law.
Yeah, well, whether it's a posse or a mob, you ain't welcome on my land, Blaine. If I was you, I'd turn around and ride back to my own side of the blue. Call off your men. I ain't alone. If you start something here, you'll be sorry.
Been hiring new men, eh, Shannon?
Yeah. And don't forget, every one of them men can hit a coyote dead center first shot.
Dad, please let me handle this.
Now, you mind your...
Dad, please. Mr. Blaine, I'll give you my word of honor. My brother isn't here. Now, will you please go?
Well, I reckon I can take your word, Miss Sheila. Too bad you're not the boss of the potter. You and me'd get along fine.
Isn't there some way we can avoid this trouble between you and Dad?
Well, I'd be mighty reasonable with you. And more, you know how I feel about you.
Don't.
You're the only one that can stop this war.
Don't you think you'd better go?
All right. But you be thinking about what I've said. Goodbye.
Do you think maybe if you were boss, you could stop this war, Miss Sheila?
Perhaps I could if I wanted to. Tex, do you think Tommy can keep clear of them?
Well, Tommy knows this range like an engine, and if Blaine's anywhere around, I'd be willing to bet that Tommy ain't nearer than 20 miles.
Mighty fine cattle country, eh, Jigger?
All right, amigo. Keep your mitts away from that gun and reach high.
Howdy, stranger. Sorry, but I reckon I better take that gun. I guess I was wrong worrying about you. Tenderfoot, ain't you?
I guess clothes don't make the man, eh?
Well, not with you, stranger. Them clothes don't make you look any more like a real
Any more
Westerner.
than your face makes you look like a real outlaw.
Check, amigo. But right or wrong, there's a posse after me, and I... Hey, you can't pull anything on me. I ain't falling for that old trick.
I noticed that.
Nice horse.
You aiming to steal him?
Well, I hate to do it, but my pinto's too well known, and I've got to get to the pothook.
That doesn't look like a fair trade, Mr. Outlaw.
Hey, don't worry. No Shannon's a horse thief.
Shannon.
Why, yes. Wes Shannon's son. By the way, stranger, what's your name?
Crandall. Crandall from Kentucky.
Well, I'm glad to know you, Crandall. And don't worry about your horse. I'll leave him at the pothook and you can trade back. And do you mind climbing down so I can get going?
All right, Shannon. I hope you meant what you said about leaving my,
Don't worry, Crandall. I won't hurt your pet. He'll be there waiting for you. And say, if you run into that posse, tell them
I'll tell them you were too fast for me. Had a tough day, eh, boy? Well, I'll take it easy with you.
Hey, Bo. Isn't that Tommy Shannon's horse? Sure is, but that ain't Tommy. Oh, Tenderfoot. I wonder where he got that horse.
Wait a minute. Where'd you get that pinto?
Oh, that horse. I got the worst of the bargain.
You're one of Shannon's new gunmen. Sent her to provide a fresh horse for his son.
No, mister. You're making a mistake.
Wait a minute. Where's Tommy Shannon?
Well, I don't know. I don't even know who you're talking about.
Hold it, Blaine. He's just a tenderfoot.
Well, tenderfoot or no tenderfoot, I'll show him who's the... Oh, here.
That fellow's no tenderfoot.
Give you 150 on Blaine, Hall. You're making a bad bet, mister.
I'll take that.
Just wait till he gets going.
I'm waiting.
I told you made a bad bet, mister. Or maybe your friend ain't what he used to be.
Stranger, let me buy you a drink.
All right.
Little scotch, bartender. What'd you have?
Sarsaparilla for mine.
With your punch, I guess you don't need nothing stronger than sarsaparilla. Here's how, tenderfoot. If you value your skin, you better breeze out of here. Unless you can sling that gun you're wearing.
Why?
Blaine's a bad hombre. He'll force you to draw next time you meet. And he's fast.
How fast?
Only one man hereabout can beat him with the draw. And that's Parson Durkin, one of his own men.
Parson Durkin?
Know him?
Well, no, but I've heard of him. I guess I better get rid of this gun then, eh? Take care of this for me, will you?
Playing safe, huh, stranger? Well, I don't blame you. Well, look me up sometime.
I will. Say, where's that tenderfoot that licked Blaine? Lightnin. Howdy, Parson. Why the masquerade, Lightnin? Lightnin's dead, Parson. The name is Crandall. Crandall from Kentucky.
You on Shannon's side?
I'm not on anybody's side. I came here looking for peace.
And if you're looking for peace, you picked a fine spot. Why,
I know there's a feud ready to bust. That doesn't mean anything to me. I'm neutral. I came here to buy a spread and settle down.
You think anyone's going to believe that?
Parson, my guns are packed forever. No one here knows me except you. If you're still my friend, you won't talk.
I'm your friend, Lightnin. But don't forget, I'm working for Blaine.
So I've heard.
It'd be tough on us if we should ever happen to be on opposite sides, wouldn't it?
I hope that day never comes.
Me too.
I owe you a lot, Parson. You taught me everything I know. You made me the fastest gunfighter on the border. That is, outside of yourself.
Oh, I don't know about that. There are times when a man's been known to turn tables on his teacher.
Lucky for us, we'll never find out. Because from now on, I'm going unhealed. You'll keep still about me, won't you?
Sure.
Thanks. I'm sorry I had to drop in on you like that.
Well, you did sort of scare the life out of me for the moment, but I'm glad you got away.
Me too.
When Blaine's men saw you on the Pinto, they must have mistaken you for my brother Tommy.
Well, I'm very glad to know you, Miss Shannon. You Shannons and me have sure been meeting under peculiar circumstances, haven't we?
We certainly have, Mr. Crandall.
How do you know my name?
From my brother Tommy. He told us about you. Crandall from Kentucky, isn't it?
Oh, yes, of course.
We're very grateful to you. With your help, Tommy was able to get away from Blaine's men. When do you want to pick up your horse?
Right now.
Do you intend staying around here long?
That depends.
On what?
On whether I can find the kind of ranch I want to buy.
Oh. Well, maybe my father could help you. Shall we go?
All right. Tell me about your brother Tommy.
Thanks for loaning your horse to my boy. About the land, have you any definite place in mind?
Yes. I'd like it best if I could buy right on the river.
Well, I might sell you the WA.
Dad, you wouldn't do that.
Why not? Of course, the WA is the center of a feud right now, but there's no reason why Blaine should hold a grudge against the buyer.
But, Dad, Mr. Crandall's already had a run-in with Blaine's men.
Oh, Well, that being the case, maybe you better not...
If I buy, it'll be up to me to get along with my neighbors.
No, don't you see? Blaine wants the WA for himself. Why, he's liable to...
Blaine's coyotes are guarding every trail of the pothook, except the one to Ogalla.
Prescott was guarding that one too, Texas. At least he was until he started chasing Mr. Crandall.
Well, they're too late now. Tommy's past them.
Crandall? Introduce me to the gentleman, Mr. Shannon.
Why, sure, Texas. This is Texas May, my foreman. This is Crandall.
I'm sure glad to see you, Crandall. Having men like you on our side makes me feel a lot safer.
Have you ever seen me before?
No, but shucks, I know who Lightnin Crandall is. Why,
You're making a mistake, Tex. I'm Steve Crandall. The fellow you're thinking of is dead.
Well, my mistake, I reckon.
Well, that's all right. I've been taken for lightning before.
That's odd, isn't it? When the trouble started, I wrote to this man Lightning asking him to come here.
You did?
Yes, and I got an answer from a man named Travis.
What did he say?
Well, he said that Lightning was dead.
I'm sorry, I'm not the right Crandall, Miss Sharon.
That's all right. I expect you're much nicer. You know, in spite of my romantic ideas about him, he was probably just another gunman. No, I'm glad you're you.
Thanks. I hope you mean it. Hello, Sheila.
Hello, Bob.
Howdy, Shannon.
Howdy, Crandall. Through inspecting the WA?
Yep. Covered the whole spread in a week. And I'm ready to buy. But you'll have to throw Texas in with a deal.
Well, I hate to lose him, but if you've made up your minds between you, I reckon there's nothing I can do about it.
Let's go to town then and draw up the papers.
As soon as I get my gun. Get the men, Texas. We might run into Blaine.
Right.
I'm glad you're buying the WA.
Are you? I'm going to build a house up there, and I was wondering if you'd help me.
Me?
Yes, you see, I thought you could help me fix it up. Just as if you were going to live in it yourself someday.
Is this by any chance a proposal?
Well, not exactly, but...
Good boy, Crandall. Don't let her trap you. Come on, better get away quick.
Well, here's the horse, Fred.
All right, boys. Stick around town and keep your eyes open.
Your friend Crandall just rode in. Well, if he steps in here, I'll drop him on sight.
Careful, Blaine. He and his friends might set a trap for you.
What are you trying to do? Scare me off? What friends he got?
Oh, Texas and Shannon and his gunmen.
Oh, what of it?
Nothing. Only I got a hunch that maybe Crandall might be bad medicine, Blaine, that's all.
Ah.
Hello, stranger.
Howdy, Hall.
Crandall here just bought my ranch. Staying, Crandall?
Yeah. Why?
Blaine's in the saloon telling how he's going to get you if he lays eyes on you.
Yeah? Well, I'll have to settle this sooner or later. It might as well be now.
Don't be a fool. Blaine would murder you.
You think so? He wouldn't shoot a tenderfoot that ain't healed, would he?
I'm not so sure about that. Now, wait a minute. We'll all go.
No, Shannon. This is a matter between me and Blaine. I'll settle it alone.
Hey, I'm going with you.
All right, Tex. But no one else. Listen, Tex. This'll either be guns or nerves. Whichever it is, you stay out of it.
What? Me stand back and watch them down you without slinging lead? Not so, Chook, and notice it. I'll be right there.
You'll do as I say, or keep out.
Oh, shucks, all right.
Let me have that gun I left here the other day. Howdy, Blaine. I hear you've been talking about me. Talk like that is apt to get a man in trouble. As a matter of fact, you're in trouble right now.
You're covering a lot of ground, Crandall. That new gun might stick in its holster.
Maybe you would loan me yours, Parson.
Is that a threat?
I hope it don't turn out that way. Blaine, I'm getting tired of hearing of what you're going to do to me. If you've got what it takes, you'll fill your hands now.
Trying to badger me to draw, eh, Crandall? While your men are waiting to drop me the minute I move.
Texas is out of this. Besides, there's 3 of you against us 2.
How many you got waiting at those windows?
You're crawling, Blaine. Well, get this. I bought the WA from Shannon this morning.
You bought what?
You heard me. The WA. So keep your men clear. I don't want trouble, but
Let me tell you something. You're with Shannon. Well, that suits me just fine. Because none of Shannon's men or his cattle are safe north of the Blue. You get it?
I get it, Blaine. And I'm north of the Blue.
Well, I wasn't aiming to open war on a tenderfoot without a warning. Now you've got yours.
I'll remember that.
You ain't caught up with Tommy Shannon yet, Blaine, have you?
Don't push your luck too far. They might be calling you Lightnin again.
Man, after that session, I sure need a drink. Say, for a tenderfoot, you're the hardest talking hombre in town. What would you have done if Blaine had called your bluff?
I guess I'd have had to make good.
Let's have that drink.
Sarsaparilla for mine.
Figuring on registering your stock under a new brand, Crandall?
Maybe. Why?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking. You know, this would make a right smart brand for your stock. Simple to make and hard to block, too. Could call it Streak of Lightning. Sort of fits, eh, Crandall?
Meaning?
Oh, meaning there's a lot of little things you do that tells me you're no tenderfoot.
Such as?
Such as taking off your spurs before you get out of your shaps. That new rope I gave you, you drug it behind your horse till all the kinks are out of it. And you can read a brand as far as you can see a steer. And you
think I'm Lightnin Crandall.
I don't think. I know.
You win, Tex.
Hiding?
No. I left Texas because I was sick of being a gunfighter. I hoped to take off my guns when I got here. But I reckon there's no use. Looks like there's...
Flames, man! They cut some of the herd! Blaine's men. They got Jed, too.
Is he? Have one of the boys take Martini to the doctor. Tell the others to round up the cattle and stay with the herd. Those coyotes are liable to try it again.
Right.
I reckon it's the beginning. Well, I'm going to beat them to the punch. I'm going to round up my boys and...
No, Shannon. That's just what we're trying to avoid. More bloodshed.
You ain't running this, Crandall. Jed and Red are my boys, and Blaine's men knew it.
Can you bring back Jed or cure Red's wound by more fighting?
Do you want a bunch of dirty killers to go free?
All you think of is revenge. First it was Blaine, now you. If something isn't done, it'll just be an endless round of revenge for murder and murder for revenge.
She's right, Shannon.
Well, if you've got a plan, I'll listen.
Well, I haven't got one now,
Well, if
but...
you men can't find one, I will.
Well, they're taken right into the doctor, all right. There's only one way to stop this war.
Kill Blaine, I suppose.
Correct. I'll fill his darn hide so full of lead, it'll do for a sash weight.
No, Tex. That wouldn't do.
Why not?
Forget it. I'll take Sheila back to the WA.
I reckon that's how you'd do most anything to stop this war, wouldn't you, Miss Sheila?
Yeah, Tex, I sure would.
Not thinking about marrying Blaine by any chance, are you?
Why, what makes you think I'd do a thing like that?
Oh, nothing. Only just in case you was. Don't you do it.
Don't worry.
Get your bronc, Tex. We'll head back to the WA.
Right.
Bob, what do you intend to do?
Not worried about me, are you?
Yes, I am. Blaine and his men might... Well, besides, if they shot you, I wouldn't get the fun of planning your house.
Sheila, couldn't we call it our house?
Is it a proposal this time?
All ready, Bob?
I guess we better get going.
I don't think I'll go with you. I believe I'll stop in town for the mail.
All right, Sheila.
Bob, no matter what happens, I want you to know that there's no one else.
Well, I don't know.
No, don't ask me any questions now. You'll understand later.
Hi there. Anybody around? Hi, men. I hope you don't mind. I was just fixing to help myself to some grub.
Ain't exactly a healthy spot for you, Tommy.
Yeah, I know it, but I figured I'd hole up and drift as soon as it gets dark.
Where to?
Well, Blaine's dead set on seeing me swing, so I'm hitting leather for Texas.
If you're figuring on riding all night, you better get some sleep. Go ahead. Tex and me will keep a lookout for you.
Thanks.
Get some grub in those saddlebags, Tex.
Right off.
As long as you're heading for the Lone Star State, I'll give you a note to a friend of mine. He might be able to help you out.
Thanks, Crandall. Hey, Crandall, I didn't know you come from Texas. I thought you hailed from Kentucky.
Well, you see, I came out here...
Hey, you know what, Tommy? They call him Lightnin down in Texas.
Lightnin?
Uh-huh.
Holy mackerel, and me so careless with my gun. How come you didn't drop me, Lightnin?
I kind of liked your looks, Tommy. This fellow's name is Travis. I'm sure he'll put you on.
Thanks.
Now you get some sleep. We better stick around outside, Tex.
All right. Digging out the old partner, eh, Lightnin?
Seems like the only way I can help Sheila now.
Well, now, if you'd get Blaine, the war'd be over in 5 minutes.
Yeah. But to get Blaine, I'd have to draw Parson Durkin first. I hope I don't have to meet the parson. He's square. You better take care of the horses. Give Tommy's bay a good feed. Guess I haven't slowed up much.
Well, if you slowed up at all I can say is that nobody will ever notice it.
It's Blaine's man. Tommy, wake up. It's Blaine's man. Cover those windows. If anything happens, let him have it. What do you want, Prescott?
Tommy Shannon came this way. We want him.
The trail's wide open behind you. Take it.
You can't order a posse off your place, Crandall.
I said get off and stay off.
Not until we've searched the place. Come on.
Stay where you are. You're not searching this place now or ever. Make a play, Prescott. I'm waiting.
Doggone, if he'd have been a couple of inches taller, you'd have sure got him, Lightnin.
Hey, you in the barn.
What do you want, Crandall?
Prescott's still alive. If you'll hold your fire, I'll bring him in.
All right, we'll stop firing.
Keep him covered, boys.
Those dirty double-crossing coyotes.
You'll be all right, Prescott.
No, it's mighty white of you, Crandall. Thanks. What do we do now?
Well, they can't get out, but neither can we.
I reckon that makes us even, Stephen.
I'm hoping some of our boys have heard the shooting. If they have, we've got them between fire. Let's just sit tight for a while.
Hello, Sheila. What are you doing here?
Once you said you could stop this war if I'd marry you.
That's right. Sheila, this war'll stop in its tracks the day you marry me.
All right. If you'll let Tommy and Bob Crandall go and stop the war that's coming, I'll marry you. Today.
You're just in time. I've just sent some of my men to the WA after Tommy.
No, you didn't.
Don't worry. I'll take care of that. Barton.
Yeah? What is it, Blaine?
Send Slim after Prescott and the men. Tell them the war's over. I'm marrying Sheila Shannon. Have him bring them back to Ogalla. We're going to celebrate.
Well, I reckon none of our men heard the shooting. I guess not. We've got to get Tommy out of here before it's too late.
Yeah.
Listen, when I give you the signal, start pouring lead through those windows.
Where you going?
Just a little detour.
What the devil are they shooting for?
I reckon they want to know if we're still here.
Gosh, he made it.
I guess they decided to stop wasting lead.
What's that?
Oh, stop worrying. That's only a plank warping in the heat.
I'm telling you, somebody back there.
Don't be a fool, Pete. Nobody can cross there without us seeing them.
I don't know about that.
Well, just to satisfy you, I'll go back and take a look.
Drop that gun. I told you somebody back there. Turn around. Now you men step out one at a time. Hands high. Toss your irons this way. All right, you. Start moving.
Get your gun.
Hold it. Reach high. Get over there. Tommy. Texas. Come on. Tie him up, Tex. Get going, Tommy.
Well, gosh, I don't
Forget it. Hit leather. Stay where you are, everybody.
Have you seen Prescott or any of our men around?
What do you want with him?
Blaine sent me over to get him. The war is over. He's marrying Sheila Shannon.
What's that you say?
I said Miss Shannon is marrying Blaine. The war is over.
So that's what she meant. Where are they?
I don't know.
Where are they?
They're going to town.
Get Shannon and his men.
Wait a minute. So you think the war's over, huh? Heck, it's just starting. You get Shannon, I'll follow Lightnin.
Right.
Howdy, Judge.
Howdy.
Miss Shannon and I have come to get married.
Step down to the desk. Sure you want to go through this?
Definitely.
Sister's in town ready to marry Blaine.
You stay here till we see how it comes out. Come on, boys.
You join your right hands, we'll proceed with the ceremony. You, Carson Blaine, take this woman to be your lawful wedded wife?
I do.
You, Sheila Shannon, take this man to be your lawful wedded husband? And you, Sheila Shannon, do you take this man to be your lawful wedded husband?
All right, Blaine. I'm giving you a chance to go for your gun. Parson, you stay out of it.
I'm sorry, Lightnin, but I'm still working for Blaine.
Then one of us will have to be sorry, Parson.
Both
of you. Fill your hands.
Hold on, you hombres. Are you all right, Lightning?
Lightning?
Keep them covered, boys.
Where's Sheila? Where's Blaine? They're up in the courthouse.
Stop that wedding! Stop it, or I'll...
Just you try and stop this wedding. Go on, Judge. Don't let anything stop you.
If you'll join hands, I'll proceed with the ceremony. Do you, Robert Crandall, take this woman to be your lawful wedded wife?
I do.
And do you, Sheila Shannon, take this man to be your lawful wedded husband?
I do.
Then I pronounce you man and wife.
Well, with Blaine gone, I reckon Tommy can get a square deal now. The war's over for us, eh, Tex?
Yes, West, the war's over for us. But it's just starting for him. Just starting.
I didn't mean to scare you, but are you all right, miss?
Well, yes, I'm just sleepy. I've been driving all night.
Oh, for a minute I thought there was something wrong.
Well, there is with my car, and I'm in an awful hurry.
What seems to be the trouble?
Oh, I don't know. It just stops and it won't go again.
You're not out of gas, are you?
No, I've got half the tank.
Well, let's take a look.
Thank you. You're a Mountie, aren't you?
That's right.
I thought I recognized the uniform. Of course, I've only seen it in movies. Say, tell me, is this always gets his man stuff true or just a lot of movie hokum?
That happens to be the motto of the service.
Oh, how noble. Well, where's your man, or didn't you get him yet?
Have you got any tools?
Oh, sure.
A screwdriver. Is that all?
Well, how many do you need? Why don't you get a rope and tow me in?
Mike's not a plow horse, he's a saddle horse.
Well, then why don't you get in the saddle and ride to the nearest garage and have them tow me in?
There isn't a garage within a day's ride from here. Step on the starter, will you, please?
Oh, I'd be delighted, but it won't do any good. I've tried that for hours.
It could be the carburetor needs adjusting for this high altitude. Will you try it, please?
It's a waste of time, Mountie. Why don't you stick to horses?
Now try it.
Well, hooray. Thank you.
Don't mention it. You know, a girl like you shouldn't be out in this part of the country alone.
Oh, I don't know. They told me if I got in any trouble, all I had to do was whistle and the Mountie'd pump up. I didn't even have to whistle this time, did I? Bye. anybody's safety. I just want to get to him as soon as possible.
Yes, well, that's perfectly natural. I understand.
Reporting back, sir.
How'd you make out, O'Brien?
I overtook them near Medicine Lake.
And?
Unfortunately, I had to kill them, sir.
Resisted arrest?
Definitely. They both pulled guns and tried to shoot the way clear.
Too bad. Ordinarily, Miss Owens, we try to take him alive. But this gang has murdered 3 men, and I told O'Brien not to take any chances.
If there's nothing else, sir, I'll go take care of my horse.
Well, wait a minute. Miss Owens, this is Trooper O'Brien.
We've already met, sir.
Yes, so we have. I guess I forgot to mention it.
You forgot your screwdriver, too, Miss Owens.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, I was in a bad mood. You see, my car stalled, and Trooper O'Brien was nice enough to fix it.
Oh, well, fixing a car or delivering a baby, it's all in a day's work to a Canadian mounted policeman. Miss Owens wants to go up to Canoga Valley to visit her uncle. He packed in there with some engineers about 4 months ago to survey some timberland.
That's one place you can't drive your car to, Miss Owens.
Oh, why not?
It's very rough country.
However, we can lend you a horse and some equipment. You'll need a guide, too.
I'd appreciate it.
Roberts would be a fine man for that, sir. He knows that country backwards.
Yes, I'd send Roberts, but he's out Salmon River way.
Well, how about Whitney, sir?
Oh, no, he went back east. Left 2 days ago.
Well,
no, I'm afraid it's up to you. I want to send you to Canoga Valley anyhow. I've only had one report from Sergeant Means since he was transferred up there. You know Means?
Only by reputation, sir.
A little hard to get along with. Cracked up in the war. I want you to check on him.
Yes, sir. Anything else, sir?
Yes. I want you to hear this. To the Mounted Police of Chinook Pass, dear sir, beg to announce that the creek that used to flow past my place don't flow anymore. It used to be full of water and fish. Now it's full of rocks and sand. This is very serious to me and my horses. Please to investigate this. I already spoke to the Mountie in this section, but he ain't done nothing about it so far. Please get it fixed, PDQ. Thanks. Signed, Poodles Hannaford. P.S. I'd fix it myself, but every time I go upstream, somebody takes a shot at me. Hoping you are the same. Poodles. Now, you better show this to Means and find out what it's all about.
Yes, sir. What horse shall I saddle for Miss Owens?
Take Duke.
What part of the valley do you want to go to, Miss Owens?
A place called Morgan's Post.
Be ready to leave first thing in the morning.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
I'd like to go this afternoon.
Well, that's up to O'Brien.
Well, it'll take me 35 minutes to reshoe my horse and about 10 minutes to pack and saddle. Of course, I never sleep.
Oh, 45 minutes, that would be fine. I'll be ready. Thank you, Inspector.
Pleasure, miss.
Oh, I'll try not to be too much trouble.
I'm sure you will. What did I ever do to you, Mac?
Well, I thought I was giving you a break. If I were 10 years younger, I'd take it myself.
Well, I sure wish you were 10 years younger.
What you say, Mr. Owens?
Hello, Pierre.
What you say about the money, huh?
Yeah, when do we get paid?
I'll stop worrying. I give you my word that $20,000 will be here tomorrow. Maybe even this afternoon.
Who's bringing it?
My niece.
Alone?
Yes.
All that dough?
That's right.
Sacre bleu, Mr. Owens. You are, how you say it, you are nuts.
Morgan, give me a shot of bourbon. What do you have, boys?
Yeah, make mine the same.
What are you going to do with those?
Just hang him over the saddle horn.
Oh, just a minute. I'll take this one.
Let's go.
you'll be more comfortable if you take your boots off. We always sleep with our feet to the fire.
Oh, just a minute. Where do I sleep?
Right there.
Where do you sleep?
Right here.
How cozy.
Don't forget, feet to the fire. If you're about finished, I'll go water the horses.
All right. Trooper O'Brien! Trooper! Trooper O'Brien!
What's the matter now? Did you see a snake or something?
Yes, he was on a horse.
Well, as long as he wasn't on a bicycle.
Listen, I traveled 1,500 miles alone without a mishap. And now that I'm under the protection of a Royal Canadian Mountie, I'm robbed.
Robbed? Of what?
Of my small bag.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. Do you see it anywhere? If you keep on chatting about it all day, you'll be over that second ridge of mountains.
Here he comes, Whitey.
That's the man who stole my bag, but I can't find it anywhere.
Whoever shot him must have taken it.
But I've got to get it back. It's important.
What was in it that's so important?
Well, it's got...
What?
Well, what does a girl generally carry in her bag?
I wouldn't know.
Well, that's what was in it.
That doesn't make sense.
What doesn't?
That a man should be killed over a bag of woman's, Listen, Miss Owens, this is no time for comedy. What was in that bag?
Money.
How much?
$20,000.
20,000? Why didn't you tell me I've been escorting a traveling bank?
Because it was none of your business.
It certainly was my business, and it will be till I recover it. Come on. I'm sorry, Miss Owens, but that horse is too lame for you to ride any further.
What do we do now? Stay here till he gets well?
There's only one thing we can do. Ride double.
Thank you. I just as soon walk.
We've still got 15 miles to go.
That far?
That's right.
I'd still rather walk.
Suit yourself. I thought you said something about walking.
Okay, you win. Come and get me.
Walking, doesn't it?
What in the world is that?
Well, I don't know. They must be circus folks. I wonder what they're doing in this neck of the woods.
That's better.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The little lady's quite a fancy rider.
She'll be the best bareback rider in the world after I get through training her.
Dad was the top rider in the circuses for years.
What are you folks doing in this part of the country?
Doctor ordered me a long rest after I got all smashed up in a fall.
Oh, I see.
How far is Morgan's post?
About 10 miles. You can't miss it if you keep straight on this trail.
Oh, I wonder whether you'd rent me one of your horses.
Well, we couldn't let you have Prince. He's strictly a rosinback. I broke into the saddle.
I suppose we could let her have Bullet. That's providing you can ride him.
Oh, I'll take my chances.
Okay, come along.
I've got a lame horse here. I'm going to leave him with you for a couple of days.
I'll take care of him for you. And what's more, I'll fix his leg.
Fair enough.
Don't worry about Bullet or me. We'll get along fine.
I'm Trooper O'Brien from Chinook. I'll be responsible for your horse.
Chinook, I sent a letter there about my crick.
Well, then you must be Mr. Hannaford.
Sure. That's my daughter, Jill.
How do you do?
Hello.
Well, say, how about my crick?
I'll look into that on the way back, Mr. Hannaford.
Right. Say, here's your suitcase.
And don't worry about your horse.
I'm not worrying about my horse. It's the water that ain't in the creek that bothers me.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, Dutch.
Yeah?
We got a new copper.
Yeah. That must be John Owens' niece with him.
Can you tell me where I can find John Owens?
John Owens? Well, yeah, that's his cabin right over there.
Thanks. Uncle John! Yoo-hoo! Uncle John! Hello.
Kate, you're a wonder girl. I knew you'd make it.
Well, I almost didn't. This is Trooper O'Brien. He chaperoned me up here.
All right, Trooper.
I'm afraid I didn't do a very good job of it, sir. Your niece was robbed on the way up here.
Robbed? Did they get
They got every cent.
Well, what kind of a mounted policeman are you to stand by and
Just
let
a second, Mr. Owens. If your niece had told me she was carrying that much money, it never would have happened.
Do you suppose he recognizes?
No, he never got close enough to see our faces.
Just the same, he's one Mountie too many in this valley to suit me.
Well, that puts me in a fine spot with Pierre here. He's the man I'm buying the timberland from.
Maybe if you don't get money quick, you know buy it all, huh?
Can I help what happened? Now, don't worry. I'll send for more money right away.
Well, you catch money quick. I cannot wait much longer to close deals.
Well, you see the position that puts me in. He's liable to walk out of the whole deal unless I take up my option right away.
I understand you wanted this money in small bills. Why?
Because Pierre doesn't like large ones. He's like most of the people up in this section.
One more thing, Mr. Owens. Did anyone around here know your niece was bringing this money to you?
Yes, all of my men did. Part of it was for their pay, but I'm sure they're all trustworthy.
Maybe so. But I'm sure Sergeant Means will know more about that.
Well, thank you for bringing me up here. I won't forget the trip for a long time.
Neither will I.
Okay.
Awfully sorry about this.
Well, half as sorry as I'll be if this deal doesn't go through.
I'll bet 5.
I'll call. Beats me.
I'll call. 3 queens.
3 aces.
Up to the jack, boys.
Wait. All right, deal me out the next hand. I want to get a fresh pack.
Your deal, Sandy.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
How many times have I told you to keep your nose out of my business?
Oh!
Now look, get up! Stay up.
Why, you...
I ought to cut your throat. This man's a little free with his knife, Sergeant.
Oh, beating your wife again, eh, Whitey?
Yes, Sergeant. He was afraid that I...
That'll do. Get over to my office and wait for me. This doesn't happen again. Come on, Trooper.
I take it you're Sergeant Means, sir.
That's correct.
Trooper O'Brien, since you know it.
What brings you here?
Inspector McGrath's orders. I accompanied Mr. Owens' niece up here and was also told to investigate the complaint of a homesteader, Mr. Hannaford.
About his creek drying up?
That's right, Sergeant.
Well, you can go back and reassure the inspector. It's just a case of the spring that feeds the creek pinching out.
But I understand someone's been shooting at him.
Well, he's been trespassing. I warned him about that.
I see. The inspector's also been worried about you, Sergeant. He hasn't had a report for 2 or 3 months.
What's he want me to do, write him some love letters? We haven't had any trouble up here. None worth reporting.
There's another matter, sir.
Yes?
Miss Owens was robbed of $20,000 on our way up here.
Is that so?
Yes, sir.
Not very flattering to you, O'Brien.
No, it isn't, sir. But with your permission, I'd like to stay here and...
Never mind.
I'd like to lend a hand, sir.
Not necessary. Return to your station and just hope that the inspector won't break you for what's happened.
Yes, sir.
I was hoping you might stay around till I was ready to go back.
What? And take a chance on being robbed again?
I know that wasn't your...
You're the only one who doesn't think so. Thanks.
Oh, by the way, if you happen to meet any young ladies asleep in cars, come up.
Don't worry. By the way, I found out why there's no more water in your creek, Mr. Hannaford. Sergeant Means tells me the spring that feeds it went dry.
That's what he told me. But I couldn't find out for myself.
What do you mean?
Well, every time I step out to follow the creek up into this timberland, somebody thinks it.
What did Sergeant Means say about that?
Well, he said that the timberland was private property, and that I was trespassing. He told us sounds phony to me. Nobody ever took a shot at me before the creek went dry.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Maybe I better take a run up there. Which way is it?
Why, right up there, the other side of the hill. Wait, I'll go along and show you.
All right. I've got a horse all saddled for you.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No, that's Bullet. He's bucked me off 3 times already. I'll stick to old Prince.
Miss Hannaford, would you please take care of Bullet?
Sure, I'll take him back to the barn.
Thanks.
There it is, and it used to be plumb full of trout, too.
Let's follow it on up.
Looks like I've lost him, Poodle. Yes, and you almost lost me, too, around behind.
Maybe so. You go inside and keep the boys amused. I'll take a look.
I'll do my best, but I ain't promising. Hello, folks.
Hello there.
And you, Mr. Morgan.
And how are you, Mr. Anderson?
Say, would you like to see a little trick in magic?
That I would.
And you, gentlemen, would you like to see a little trick of magic?
Sure.
I'll show it to you. Now, here we are. What color are those handkerchiefs, gentlemen?
Green and orange.
I think you're wrong. Now, what color are they?
Green and orange.
I still think you're wrong.
Mr. Anderson, would you mind showing me to do that trick for myself?
For you, Mr. Morgan, a private performance. What are the colors of those handkerchiefs now?
Green and orange.
Mr. Morgan, you're wrong.
That's a very clever trick, Mr. Anderson.
Enough of that, Mr. Morgan. Mr. Morgan, I will now show you a trick that you have never seen before.
I'll be very interested in watching it.
Right. Gentlemen, watch this trick, please. Everybody watch this. Mr. Morgan, will you buy me a drink if I drink it from here?
I beg your pardon, Mr. Anderson. Would you say that again?
Will you buy me a drink if I drink it from here?
Naturally I shall. If you can do that trick, I shall buy you a big slug of bourbon.
Good. Gentlemen, watch this. To your health, Mr. Morgan.
Well, strike me pink.
Hello.
Well, hello. I thought you'd be back at your station by now.
Well, I would have been.
Don't tell
but-
me you came back on my account.
Well, yes and no. Did you ever see this before?
Handle of a bag?
Do you think it could be off your bag, the one that was stolen?
Well, it could. Where'd you find it?
In the ash heap in back of Whitey's.
That means someone around here stole the money.
That's right.
Well, that's hard to believe. Well, I'd better tell someone about it.
Don't mention this to anyone. Not even your uncle. Because I want to go back and... Excuse me a minute. Just a second. I want to ask you a few questions.
It won't do you any good.
Someone burned a traveling bag in your stove. Who was it?
It ain't my stove. Anyhow, I don't know, and I'd be afraid to tell you if I did.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Oh, yes, there is. We're being followed right now.
I know it. Just keep walking.
All right, Whitey. Drop it. That's an old trick, Whitey. I wasn't sure you'd fall for it. Oh, you're carrying. You've got some explaining to do. Start walking.
Sergeant, I think this man is connected with the robbery of Miss Owens.
That's a lie.
I didn't steal any money from anybody.
What makes you think so?
The stolen money was in new $10 and $20 bills. Take a look at these. I took them out of his pocket. What's more, Miss Owens has identified this handle as the one that was on her bag. Someone burned the stolen bag in the stove over at the post.
That's certainly a new angle on the case. Where did you get this money?
I won it in a crap game.
From whom?
Well, my Yank who drove by a couple of days ago. He looked like a prospector. I don't even remember his name.
I can easily verify that. On the other hand, O'Brien, I'm not used to having my orders disobeyed. How come you didn't return to your station?
Well, I started back, sir, and someone took a shot at me. While trying to find out who it was, I stumbled onto a clue to the robbery.
Why didn't you tell me this?
I didn't have a chance. Things happened too fast.
Well, I must congratulate you on your work. But my order still stands. Return to your station. I'll take charge of this man in the investigation from here on. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Find anything out?
Yes, I think I did. I just had a run-in with a fellow named Whitey Yeager. He was carrying a large roll of bills on him. I think it's part of your uncle's money.
What are you going to do now?
Go back to my station.
Go back without clearing it up?
There's nothing I can do about it. Sergeant Means insists on handling the investigation alone. He's ordered me back to Chinook.
Oh, doesn't that seem very peculiar?
Well, no, I've had peculiar orders before.
Such as chaperoning peculiar females?
I've had worse than that.
Really?
That wasn't so bad. In fact, at times I almost enjoyed it.
You don't say. It's going to be very dull going back alone.
I won't mind it a bit.
Oh, but I will.
Well, when you're ready to leave, why don't you whistle? Maybe another mounted policeman will show up.
Did you find out anything?
Plenty. I think the men who robbed Miss Owens are right here. Come on, I'll tell you about it on the way back.
We're coming into the place where they took a shot at me.
Listen.
Ain't nothing but a plane.
Yeah. Do they fly over here very often?
I hear them 2 or 3 times a week.
Is that right? Sounds like he's coming in for a landing.
Never know no plane to land here in the valley.
Throw a couple of shots over there, Poodles, and keep bidding. What's the idea of shooting at us?
This is my land and I want no trespassers.
So you've got a roll of new $10 bills too, huh?
Yeah. What's that got to do with trespassing?
Not a thing. But where did you get them?
I play dice.
You must have been in the same game as Whitey. Gold dust?
Yeah.
I suppose you won this in the dice game, too.
Oh, sure I win.
Oh, no, you don't. You lose. Stick out your hands. All right, you get off.
What's the trouble, Pierre?
You tell this Mountie I got right to shoot, to keep fellas off my land.
Well, of course you have. Didn't you see his signs warning trespassers off, O'Brien?
The police aren't trespassers, Mr. Owens.
I no shoot at you. I shoot at him.
Yes, and you're darn near hit.
Take it easy, Poodles.
Now, you make him let me go, or the timberland deal is off, you understand?
Now, wait a minute, Pierre. We'll get this straightened out. Look here, O'Brien.
Sorry, Mr. Owens. Come on, you inside. Your eyes are all... You got a gun, Morgan?
Yes, sir.
Get it.
Yes, sir. Here.
I want you to keep an eye on this man and turn him over to Sergeant Means when he gets here.
Keep him for the sergeant, huh?
That's right.
Right.
Now I know why they've been shooting at you every time you went upstream.
I got an idea, too. That gold.
Exactly. That's why your stream went dry, Poodles. They've been using the water to wash sand.
Could be.
Let's take a ride up there.
Frenchy, you've got to get up there and warn the boys that the Montie's on the way to the diggings.
Sure. Get these handcuffs off me.
Right. You do just as I tell you, Frenchy. Now hold them down tight. There. Just half a rope. Now just hold it tight, Frenchy.
This time I fix that Mountie so he don't stick his nose in our business no more.
You better go warn the boys first.
Don't.
You may need some help.
Don't worry. I fix.
That sounds like a plane warming up over there.
Yeah.
You follow the stream bed on up, Poodles.
All right.
I'm going over and have a look at that plane.
Good.
See you later.
Whitey, that Mountie's on the way up towards the diggings.
don't you go tip off the boss. Come on, Pierre, we'll get him.
I go down and finish him.
Matt, I thought you'd been killed. Are you all right?
Why, sure, I'm all right. What are you doing here?
I heard Pierre was out to get you, so
I left Pierre locked up at the post. We're going back and have a few explanations. Yeah, boy, come on down here.
about?
Well, I'm a little foggy about it myself, but I'm going to talk to someone who should be able to clear everything up. Meanwhile, you wait for me at Hannaford's.
Oh, nothing doing. You'll only stick your chin out again.
You know, at times you're a very obstinate young woman.
Doggone it. I've been looking all over for you, O'Brien.
Well, I'm glad you showed up. I want you to take this stubborn young lady back to your ranch and keep her there.
Well, I won't go, and that's all there is to it.
I've got another pair of handcuffs.
Matt O'Brien, you're the most unreasonable man I ever met.
Better come along as the law says, or I may have to shoot your ears off.
And he's not kidding. He's just the type that would do it. Hurry up and fix my arm.
Fix it yourself. I told you I was through, Whitey, and I mean it. I've stood for all your dirty crookedness. But when it comes to murder...
What do you mean by that?
I found a grave in the woods this morning. Who's buried in it?
How should I know?
I found your lucky piece right next to it. See?
What's the next move? Suppose you're going to squeal at the Mounties.
No, I'm not. But I'm getting out.
Drop that gun or I'll shoot.
Is he dead?
Yes.
Then listen, Mountie. There's something you ought to know. He and Ole and Dutch...
Mr. Owens.
Well, what's the matter now?
Your niece wants to see you, Mr. Owens. She's over at the Hannaford Ranch.
What's happened? Did you have an accident?
Well, not exactly, but you'd better come over and see her.
Well, can't you tell me what happened?
Not here, but I'll ride over with you.
Okay, I'll be ready in a minute.
Good. I'll be right back. Did the sergeant pick up my prisoner, Morgan?
Well, not exactly. You see, before the sergeant got here, I had to go out and chop some wood. And while I was gone, and before I got...
And when you came back, he'd escaped, eh?
That's right. He vanished into thin air.
Well, it doesn't matter now. Listen, Morgan, if I give you a message for Sergeant Means, do you think you can keep it in your mind until you see him?
I'll write it down.
Fine. Write this. I've just arrested Mr. Owens, and I'm taking him over to Hannaford.
My word. That is a fine kettle of fish. Go.
It looks simple, you mean? Oh, darling, look. Oh, that's wonderful.
Can I try? Oh, I certainly try it. But be careful now. Be very careful.
Kate, look out! You might have broken your neck.
I'm going to leave circus riding to Jill. Matt tell you what happened?
I haven't told your uncle anything yet.
No, he said you wanted to see me.
I didn't say that.
That's funny. I thought you did.
I hope you haven't arrested him, too.
No, but I'm doing that right now.
You're not kidding me.
No, and you're not kidding me, Mr. Owens. You're under arrest.
Are you serious?
I was never more serious in my life. He didn't come up here to buy timberland. He bought a gang of thugs up here to work some rich placer claims.
That's a lie.
Of course it is.
What do you call stealing gold from the Canadian government and smuggling it across the border?
I don't believe a word of it.
Come on inside.
Uncle, don't let him talk to you like this.
Don't
This is
worry.
ridiculous.
Everything will be all right.
Sit down.
I'll get Sergeant Means. He'll stop this nonsense.
You'll stay right here. Sit down. The reason Hannaford's creek went dry is because your uncle and his gang diverted it to use for their washing trays. If you hadn't been so busy rescuing me yesterday, you'd have seen those trays and the rest of their equipment in the ravine.
I suppose that plane was part of their plan. I can't figure it out.
They've been flying supplies and material in and flying the gold dust out. Isn't that right, Mr. Owens?
Is it?
I think so. The fellow held you up yesterday, and the pair that killed him are all part of your uncle's outfit, working a double cross.
I don't believe that, O'Brien.
You weren't in on that. But I'll prove it as soon as Sergeant Means gets here. for Pierre, he was a French-Canadian who originally discovered the claim. But there were government restrictions against working it. So he went to the States and contacted your uncle.
I can't believe that.
Why don't you ask him whether it's true or not?
Tell him he's got it all wrong.
Here comes Sergeant Means.
Brian, what are you trying to pull off here?
That's what I'd like to know.
Didn't Morgan tell you?
He told me enough. I'm sorry about this, Mr. Owens. You're guilty of insubordination, O'Brien. I ordered you to return to your station. Now I'm placing you under arrest.
You're not placing me under arrest for anything. But I'm placing you under arrest for murder. For the murder of Sergeant Means, the man you're impersonating. Get his gun, please.
What do you think? Should we close in?
No, let's wait and see what happens.
I didn't know the real Sergeant Means personally, but I do know that during the First World War he had a finger shot off his left hand. I just saw the real Sergeant Means' body. He'd been buried in back of Hardy Yeager's place.
Well, I guess that's that. Mind if I get my hat?
Get away from that door. So you brought some of your boys with you, huh? Well, that's fine. We'll get them all at once.
Let's go.
Hold it. Drop those guns. All right, get over here. Come on. All right, Poodle. Bring him out.
Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on, get in there. Come on, get over there, get over.
Thanks, Sergeant Means, for bringing these men over here. You've saved me a lot of trouble. Now, Mr. Owens, when I pick up Morgan at the post, that'll put an end to your little racket.
You want me over there, too?
No, I think I'll put you on probation.
What are you stopping for?
This?
Well.
You see? It isn't only a Mountie who always gets his man.
Back already? That was another Bob Steele double feature. Now, next time we might show another old movie serial, or we might show another Western, because I really like wearing this hat. So if you ever miss one of my shows, go to YouTube under Donald O'Malley or Don's Breakfast Cereal Show. Hit like and subscribe, and you'll never miss one of my shows. So good night, folks. Hope to see you next time, and stay safe. Good night.